I'll stand by you.
Okay, crops group, just like the forestry group, mind blowing. Okay, geniuses, really. So, this one, okay, so this group was honest, farm to school, creating jobs, but not so much in the rural communities. Some of the things, thinking about crops now, hiring people to work the farms, economic gains, HIP was brought up, but in some cases, the market was flooded, funded for 1 year, but not the second, so the question also was the consistency and uniformity of quality. Processors to make the money, no guaranteed markets, and then there were issues with hemp taking up residual pesticides. Moved to housing, again dealing with rural prosperity, and one of the issues was for people just getting access to loans and improving the quality of housing in poor rural areas. Credit scores were an issue. Then they brought up a scheme that wealthy people use to get federal money. I won't even get into that, but poor people don't know how to do that. And then second housing schemes were brought up that people could use, but we only have one person who knows the tricks of this. She just joined our group, and so she's going to help us with that. But here's where the heart came, because the first group had Lorman, Mississippi, and Tuskegee in small towns, and they were using themselves as prototypes of small towns and trying to build rural prosperity and say, oh, why don't the two of them work together? Then the second group came in and said, well, what about Apalachicola, Florida, Alzheimer's, Arkansas was Alzheimer's, is that right? Okay, and then Langston, Oklahoma, again we had Tuskegee and Lorman. So right there, 5 poor communities that 1890s are in, and right there, they are models for doing rural prosperity development. We don't have to go anywhere. And then Huntsville, A&M was just said, look, you all do it. We will come in with our expertise and just help. We'll all work on this thing after we develop whatever model communities we want to work on. And do some things like pick communities. We know the people, be easy conversation. But the big issues now you get broadband, you get housing, you get health, you get all the pieces that you want to work on. We look at them, develop the profile, do the research with the community leaders, and then we come up with the direction we want to go in terms of moving them forward. That's a super big idea, particularly if we have the support of all 18 states. For that, you can imagine with the politics and everything, you could get some substantial funding. We also have in our university, if you think about, some schools have planning units. I know A&M has a unit in planning. I know Tuskegee and Florida have architecture and construction. If you start looking through each of your capabilities, we pool all that. We're going to have a rich body of expertise that we can actually go ahead and take this up. Then solar was brought up. They brought up one case where somebody's making $5,000 per acre for 72 acres for 20 years, about $350,000. Well, why don't we help our people get solar? But that's one aspect of solar. The other is, why aren't we doing more solar on our campuses? Why aren't we on our ag farms just getting solar going, learning about it, dealing with energy efficiency? So this is something that's in rural prosperity within the scope of this consortium, so let's just do it. So Tuskegee's trying to get his first house going, and others are moving on the same way. That's just crops and forestry with rural prosperity. So I don't know what's going to come out, animals and the bag.